In fact, my previous research into zero-hour contracts highlights that when workers have little bargaining power, flexible scheduling will actually be controlled by their manager rather than the worker, and this flexibility is actually damaging for work-life balance. Therefore, I think that in order to create good work, we need to transform the potential flexibility of many jobs into real flexibility which workers have control over. In order to do so, it requires new forms of collective organisation amongst workers such as freelancers, workers on zero-hour contracts, who we don't usually think of as acting collectively. And especially as automation means that the jobs which remain are going to be those which have been devalued, which tend to be kind of more caring work, which women have done. We need to revalue actually that is the important work in society, is caring for each other.
So the best job share pairs combine and bring together a spread of skills and experience that are greater than any one person can bring to the role. And that might be around your background and what's got you to where you are, or it might be around the particular skills that you bring. So it's a really interesting and challenging way to work. Job sharers are more innovative, they're more creative, they're an effective team of two. They solve problems really brilliantly. Job sharers require less managerial input, less managerial time, because they work together to resolve challenges. So, and I suppose the place I would close is just think about what job sharing might bring to major institutions. What if we had a job sharing Prime Minister, and with the checks and balances that brings? What if we have a job sharing judiciary where it's not just a question of who's doing it and having a more diverse institution, but it's actually bringing that discursive element into decision making so that we actually literally affect the laws that we live by. And so thinking about that, particularly around parenting, for example, one of the things that we don't do is to enable women to talk about the skills they develop when they become parents and the way that they enable them to deliver in the workforce. And somehow that conversation, the sort of sense that there's a discussion or an interplay between your work and non-work spaces that is valued and should be harnessed and reciprocally, seems to me to be very important and should be part of the conversation.
The dictionary definition of work, I discover, is the expenditure of energy, the application of effort to some purpose. So those of you who've come here this evening, you have worked, you have done some work while you've been here, you'll no doubt do some more work, you will expend effort for some purpose. When you go home, you will work. Simply going home is work. Caring for parents is work, caring for children is work, caring for neighbours is work, having a party is work, believe it or not. Clearing up your local nature reserve is work, teaching a class is work, writing a play, I didn't know you were a playwright, writing a play is work. Making furniture, cleaning a house, these are all work. Some of it's paid and some of it isn't. And so the relationship between work and an income is a complex one. The possible results, one of the possible consequences of a basic income is that there will be some workers who will have more of an opportunity to say no to really bad jobs. So one of the consequences may be that really lousy jobs become better jobs. Another interesting consequence, of course, will be that if you have a foundational income, a really interesting job you may be able to do for less pay.
That is this idea that work is about respect and it's about participation. It's about being in service to other human beings and offering those services to each other. And as Malcolm's very rightly pointed out, some of that is paid and some of that is unpaid, and actually it's all work. But what's gone missing in what we're looking at the moment is a sense of security and infrastructure that provides that ability for people to work in the service of each other in our communities. New framework in that way, it seems to me there is a sweet spot, and it's around the economy of care and craft, doing things, making things, building things to last, and creativity, that autonomy that comes with being able to contribute to society with your own skills in your own way. And there are some amazing things about that economy of care and craft and creativity. The first, of course, is that it's very satisfying if you can get the conditions right to work in it. The second is it's employment rich. There are as many jobs as we have needs in society for in such an economy. And the third is, which is from my point of view, a kind of cherry, the icing on the top of the cake, is that this is a low-carbon economy. It's not about masses of stuff, it's not about big bits of kit, it's about communities, it's about people, it's about value, it's about prosperity, it's about purpose.